as well. So whoever wants the front row for the sessions, feel free, come forward and take it. I will give you 30 seconds. Who likes front row? This is not a classroom. You don't have to worry about principal or teacher being strict. Maybe just leave these two chairs, only these two chairs, and the rest can be occupied by whomever. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, on behalf of Trescon, the organizer of this event, our strategic partner, Cyberverse Foundation, I'm very excited and happy to welcome you all today of the inaugural Digital Acceleration and Transformation Expo, which will grow and become one of the most, if not the most impactful and largest technology expo in India, for which we of course need the support of yourselves, your respective communities, and their respective communities. Yesterday, we had the honor, we had the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to have as one of our chief guests, the Honorable Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, Srimati Nirmala Sitharamanji, who enthralled all of us through a fireside chat where she talked about various different aspects of digital technologies and digitization, including financial inclusion, financial innovation, fintech, cybersecurity, data, artificial intelligence, and a lot more. We had the Member of Parliament from Bengaluru South, Sri Tejasvi Surya, talking about technology for good, technology for governance. We had the Maharaja of Mysuru, Sri Yaduvir Krishnadatta Chamaraja Wadayar, also talking about Cyberverse's support and participation at this event with Trescon. And we had a long list of CEOs, such as the Britannia CEO, Rajneet Kohli, President of Volvo India Group, Kamal Bali, CEO of Prestige Services, Pradeep Lala, and a long list of other friends from around different parts of India that came here to talk about how digitization is not just an IT affair, but actually true economic affair that must start at the top. From the ministers, founders, entrepreneurs, CEOs, all the way up until the developers, engineers, students, and interns, everybody needs to breathe, speak, live, talk, and deliver digital. That message was quite clear yesterday. And today, through a lot of different sessions here in the main stage, there on the Future Tech stage, and there on our FinTech stage, we are going to keep you fully engaged. And of course, our expo floor, where we are showcasing more than 100 different technology exhibitors and partners, are eagerly waiting for as many discussions as they can have with you to educate you on the trends, the changing landscape, what is coming your way in the future, and what do you need to do to embrace this positive oncoming traffic of digitization, because India is on course for being a true digital leader. I talked so much about yesterday, but seeing is believing. And for those of you that were not here yesterday, we want to play a small clip to show what happened yesterday. Can I please have the video? That was yesterday. More than 7,900 registrants, not just from New Delhi, not just from India. We also had a lot of foreign participants. And as we grow, as we make this event bigger, we want to make sure that all of you contribute in any possible capacity you can to bring the world to India? I want to ask two questions. How many of you want to bring the world to India for a large-scale technology expo? Raise your hands and clap your hands. I will ask you a second question. How many of you truly want to bring the world to India? Clap your hands with as much power as you have, because when we speak, when we clap, when we travel around the world, we need to carry the pride with us. We need to tell them that I don't want to go to just Singapore or UK or UAE or Indonesia or Saudi or any other country to attend global standard tech expos, because I also have something in my own country and I'd like you all to come and visit my country. That's the message that we want to take to the world. We want to be omnipresent, we want to be participating everywhere, but at the same time, we want the world to also come to India. With that, once again, I welcome you all to the Digital Acceleration and Transformation Expo. Wishing you an amazing day ahead. Please stay tuned until the very end, because today we have a lot of social impact initiatives launches. We're launching the Trescon Foundation's initiative called Smart 1000 Classrooms in partnership with Yuva Unstoppable. We are launching two books, one on cybersecurity awareness, particularly talking about the different challenges that women face. It's called Cyber Safe Girls. We are launching another book by a 13-year-old child, a prodigy, called The Future of Tech, or The Future Tech. We also launched the Women in Media Council today. So a lot of women empowerment topics, a lot of youth empowerment topics. And towards the end of the day, we have two amazing pitch competitions. The FinTech World Cup regional competition. The finals will happen in Dubai, UAE. The Startup World Cup regional competition. The finals will happen in the USA, in the United States of America. Plus, a couple of startups that showcased here yesterday have apparently already received commitments for investments. Our team is working on the details with the investors. Towards the end of the day, we will also announce which companies have received those investments and possibly how much capital they've raised right from this event, right from you all sitting here in the audience. Thank you very much, and stay tuned for the rest of the day.
Well, India is on its way to become the true digital leader. Thank you so much, Mr. Naveen. Can we again have a big round of applause for that address? All right, and now it's time to kickstart with a very, very special address for today from our chief guest for the day. But unfortunately, today he could not be with us in person for this event due to some unavoidable circumstances. But we have a very, very special message sent from him. Well, I see some huge smiles in the audience already, because you know who I'm talking about. Well, yes, a very special address from none other than the Honorable Minister of State for Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India, Shri Rajiv Chandrasekhar. Can we again have a big round of applause? We have a very, very special message and regards coming from him right there on screen. So can you please have a look at the screens?
Namaskar. Namaste. Good morning. I thank the Cyberverse Foundation for organizing this Digital Acceleration and Transformation Expo in New Delhi, and I thank them for inviting me to speak. Unfortunately, due to some extremely unavoidable commitments, I wasn't able to be there today in person. But I wish everyone the best, and I hope the outcomes of this event contribute towards advancing the conversation of using technology for good, for expanding and accelerating the digitalization of our economy and creation of opportunities, as our Honorable Prime Minister laid out as our goals as a nation and as a people way back in 2015. I'm also confident that as we continue these conversations, that the Prime Minister's vision of an India decade, a decade full of technology opportunities that is around the corner, will also be realized by the perseverance, grit, commitment, innovation, and hard work of many thousands of our startups and entrepreneurs around the world, around the country. I would certainly take this opportunity to share some thoughts on today's theme, which aligns completely with the vision and mission set by our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji in 2015. India clearly, as somebody who's seen tech for over 3.5 decades, India today is clearly at an inflection point. The Indian innovation economy is at an absolute takeoff stage. And over the last 9 years, India has rapidly digitized its economy, Uh, we were about 4.5% of total GDP, which was digital economy in 2014. We are at about 11% today of digital economy as a percentage of total GDP, and we expect to be one fifth or 20% of the total GDP being contributed from the digital economy. The digital economy in general, the innovation economy in particular, is today galloping at about 2.5, almost sometimes 3%, 3 times faster than the regular GDP. And therefore, we are certainly growing not just in the world's fastest growing economy in the world, we are also in the fastest growing digital economy in the world, with a clear goal of a $1 trillion digital economy by 26 and a $5 trillion total economy by the year 27. India, as you know, is an extraordinary case study for the deployment of technology for the good of its people. Way back in 2015, our Prime Minister had laid down his goal that he wanted tech to be principally his Digital India program that he rolled out in 2015. And I was in an audience just like you are today. And he laid out this goal that he wants technology to transform the lives of every Indian citizen. He wants technology to he envisioned India being not just a consumer of technologies, which it had been for so many decades, but also a producer of the next generation of products, devices, solutions, platforms for the world and for in the Indian economy as well. Most importantly, the biggest real life use case, if you want to call it that, of technology at scale has been demonstrated in India, where the age-old narrative that 100 rupees left Delhi and only 15 rupees reached the citizens because of corruption, because of intermediation, leakages, has been totally turned on its head after almost 65 years of independence, accepting that as a status quo, accepting that as a inbuilt feature of our Indian democracy. Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji rolled out the JDY accounts, the Jandan Yojana accounts, and created this technology platform where today 100 rupees leaves Delhi and it reaches every citizen's accounts that is entitled to his or her money directly through technology, without intermediation, without leakages, without any corruption, and at an instant speed. So technology today at scale has been demonstrated in India as something that is not just about creating unicorns and creating billionaires and creating jobs, but is also fundamentally transforming our governance, transforming democracy, transforming and rebuilding after 6.5 decades the trust between government and citizens, because the government today, because of technology, is able to reach citizens even in the remotest corners of our country, and not having them suffer the perils of distance from government or the government institutions. In addition, as part of this digitalizing of our governance, digitalizing of our economy, you can see that there has been an extremely vibrant ecosystem of startups and innovation that have grown rapidly around it. And one of the examples that I use to show this tremendous symbiotic relationship between government and Prime Minister Modi ji's vision for digitalizing our economy and governance, and the consequent uh, growth of innovation in the private sector among startups, is the classic case of UPI. UPI was a use case to allow the transfer of money from government to citizens in an absolutely seamless manner, which is being done today for hundreds and lakhs of crores of Indians. And UPI has also spawned one of the world's most exciting fintech ecosystems in the world that is now is growing and thriving, attracting investments, creating opportunities like income in the innovation economy. And that in 2014 consisted primarily of IT, ITES, and we were singularly focused on that opportunity, and we did very well. We have beautiful, great companies like HCL, Infosys, Wipro, Tata Consulting that have become global standard companies, creating tremendous amount of wealth, economic activity, and jobs for Indians all across the country. We are today living in an era where every aspect and every segment of the digital economy and the innovation economy, whether it's semiconductors, electronics, microelectronics, Web3, AI, high performance computing, quantum computing, every area of technology, every area of the innovation economy has an Indian flag with one or two or more Indian startups that are doing extremely well. Next generation AI chips, edge AI chips, cybersecurity platforms, any of these areas today that we look at that are so important to not just the growth and opportunities, but also in terms of shaping the future of technology. We have Indian startups and Indian technology presence there firmly. So there is no uh, segment of the innovation economy that India is not present in, and it is our government and our Prime Minister's clear, unrelenting motivation and objective that more and more opportunities are created for young Indians, and more young Indians use those opportunities to create successful startups, successful stories that are global in terms of their scope and global in terms of the recognition and success. As we progress in developing the next gen technologies, you can see today the almost frantic conversation and discourse around artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is clearly one of the biggest inventions in our times, in our recent times. After semiconductor and the internet, artificial intelligence certainly is one of the almost three most important inventions in our lifetime. And while we are focused clearly on making sure artificial intelligence is a kinetic enabler and an absolute accelerant for our digital economy and growth of our innovation economy, we are also ensuring that safety and trust. Our Prime Minister has made it very clear that safety and trust of these platforms is as important. And with 1.2 billion Indians who are going to be using the internet by 2025-26, with almost 850 million or 85 crore Indians already using the internet, we are one of the largest economies in the world. And we are also making sure that you have heard recently our honorable Prime Minister call out the risks of deep fakes. We have all been aware, especially some of us from my generation, who always believed that technology is a great enabler and is a force for good. But recent events in the last 10 years have also shown that unless regulated carefully, unless regulated through the prism of safety and trust, internet and the broader technology ecosystem can also be a power for harm, power for criminality, and therefore these guardrails, which carefully developed without over-regulating innovation, is something that we are focusing on working with the rest of the country, rest of the world rather, in putting forth. Our, in conclusion, I want to emphasize our commitment, our Prime Minister's vision of the India Decade is a vision that basically will see more and more young startups, more and more young entrepreneurs dive into these opportunities that are being created by Prime Minister Narendra Modi's policies. And we will not just continue the momentum, that we will, as a nation, almost working together with this huge ecosystem of growing ecosystem of startups and young, confident Indians, work to shaping the future of tech and economy, not just in India, but tech and global digital economy for the rest of the world. I thank all of you who are present in this event for participating and engaging in this discourse, not just about the immediate short term and the near future, but also I certainly invite you to think about the India Decade vision that Prime Minister Modi ji has put, and the goal that he has put forth in front of everybody, the guarantee that he has given to the nation that he wants to make India a developed nation within our lifetimes, and so that all of what our country had to suffer over the years, over the six and a half decades before 2014, of poverty, of deprivation, of exclusion, of large numbers of people from economic opportunity, are once and for all reversed, and that every Indian, young Indian, old Indian, rural Indian, urban Indian, has a good, fair shake at an opportunity to growth, development for himself, herself, and their families. I thank the Cyberverse Foundation again for inviting me to speak today. I wish all the participants the very best, and I wish all of you also a belated uh, festival season which has just passed. And to those who are looking forward to the coming Namaste, Jai Hind.